All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Child Development Associate and Early Child Care Training. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a moment. I'm going to give folks another 30-40 seconds to get logged in, and we will get started. Thank you. All right, so welcome everyone once again to the Child Development Associate and Early Child Care Training. Happy to be talking to you as part of the CypherWorx team. We want to welcome everybody today. My name is Steve Stuckey, and Chris Schramm and I will be sharing some great ideas that we have are anxious to share with you here today. I just wanted to share with you that my journey actually started many years ago with the really decades ago when I was working with one of the top 100 training companies in the United States. And for the last 6+ years, I've actually been working with after school and early childcare programs around the country. And so I'm really excited to share some of those ideas and experience with you today, and always available, of course, for a call conversation. This is what I do. So please encourage you. We'll both share our contact information here at the end, but encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions. So I'm very passionate about helping organizations make the most out of the training technologies that are available today, and to really make a significant difference in the lives of the children that we serve, and also the adults. So Chris Schramm, my partner here today, will be co-presenting. Chris is an amazing human and really a great partner who really enjoys helping organizations provide the very best in training. So before we get started, a quick note about our communication for today. So to allow you to make the most out of your session, we'd like to just give you a quick tour of the Zoom webinar control panel. You're all probably used to this by now, but the panel will look like the one on your screen, and your microphone will be muted for this webinar, but we do want you to feel free to raise your hand or ask questions in the chat during the presentation. So Chris and I will be monitoring both of these areas so we can share and answer any questions as they come in. So let's get rolling. So CypherWorx has, we're very pleased that we have one of the broadest catalogs of early childhood education courses available, and the course content has also been proven effective in multiple efficacy and case studies. So if you'd like to have any of this information and data background, happy to share this with you. So we consulted with a third party to do our efficacy studies, making sure that the online courses that we are providing are effective. And you can see from the basic graph there, the study results here, pre-test to post-test gains. This is a fairly large study, and we're really pleased with the results. And we're going to share that with you. So these courses are now used by hundreds of thousands of teachers now annually. And we're talking today specifically about the Child Development Associate courses, but we also are well known for the after-school courses that we have that are approved for credit in every state. And so if you have a program that are both early child care as well as after-school, you've certainly come to the right place, and love to chat with you. So the Child Development Associate, the CDA credential, is a widely recognized credential in early childhood education, and this is administered by the Council on Professional Recognition. The CDA credential guides early child care professionals as they work toward becoming qualified teachers of young children. Now, the CDA credential has many valuable benefits for all early childcare professionals, including helping early educators meet current state and national professional requirements, and serving as a pathway to learning the best teaching practices. CDA recipients are competent practitioners who value vital knowledge, skills, and formal education. There have been more than 350,000 CDA credentials awarded since the early 70s, and there are approximately 20,000 new CDAs and 18,000 renewals annually. So now, as you can see, there are a few steps to actually completing the CDA requirements. So number one, applicants need to meet the minimum requirements for education and experience, and then also complete 120 hours of professional early childhood education. And this includes 10 hours in each of the 8 CDA subject areas, and we're going to show those on the next slide. Second, they need to select and work with a professional development specialist and then create a portfolio of their work. Number three, they submit their application, they apply to the Council on Professional Recognition. And then 4, schedule the exam, portfolio review, and verification visit. So understanding that all of these pieces need to happen for Child Development Associate Certificate to be awarded, that's important. Where CypherWorx comes in and excels is providing that 120 hours of professional early childhood education. There's actually more than 120 hours that are available. So there's some choice that happens there. But we've gone through the process. The CypherWorx team has gone through the process to ensure that the CDA courses are qualified to be gold standard CPA or CDA courses, and also qualified for continuing education credits. So now Chris is going to give us a quick look at the 8 subject areas and talk about the training courses.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you so much, Steve. Being a part of the CDA Gold Standard program and our accreditation with the CDA Council means that we have to provide training in all 8 of the CDA subject areas. And I have those up on my screen. Planning a safe and healthy learning environment, advancing children's physical and intellectual development, supporting children's social and emotional development, building productive relationships with families, managing an effective program operation, maintaining a commitment to professionalism, observing and recording children's behavior, and understanding principles of child development and learning. And it is a requirement that we, to maintain our gold standard, do offer training in each of these areas. And of course, to become a CDA certified teacher, you do have to complete a certain amount of training in each of these areas. And of course, we support the learning with a really robust catalog here. So bear with me a second. We have our CDA and childcare catalog here. We have the after school certificate series, and then scroll down a little bit further and we get into the CDA catalogs. So the nice thing about our catalog is it does break them down into subject areas. So you don't have to question about whether the training that you're taking is appropriate or which subject area it does fall into. We map it out for you nice and clear. We do have another resource on top of our digital PDF catalogs as well. Anybody is welcome to go to collaboration.net/catalog to view the courses. This catalog is of benefit because it does have, descriptions of the courses as well as the duration and how many clock hours you should expect to receive. So here, our PDF catalogs are great and they have a ton of information, but the digital catalog just digs in a little bit further and actually gives you a description of the course here. So feel free to go to collaboration.net/catalog to view any of our catalogs, specifically the CDA. Bear with me a moment as I hop back to my PowerPoint. Perfect. Our system allows for the use of learning paths. We've actually gone ahead and created a learning path for you that you are able to go ahead and modify to make it specific to your organization. You can edit it to make it so it is a done in order. You know, maybe you have a specific order that you would like your users to complete it in. Maybe you don't mind how they complete it. Maybe you want them to do 10 courses a week. Either way, the learning paths can be edited and assigned at your will. Whenever you're ready to, you can go ahead and create your own learning paths and include any of the courses in the CDA to make sure that your users are getting them completed in a timely fashion. There isn't a I believe from the time that you start the CDA, you have about 4 years to finish your training. So while it does allow for a long time, certainly something that you want to get done, and you can actually use like time released courses based on how you complete it and set up your learning path. So that is a great function of our system as well. And of course, we have quality content. Our courses include multiple exams, knowledge checks, and other assessments, and that's going to assess the learner's competency in the course content they just completed. Exams are created and maintained by our subject matter experts and instructional design team to test the learner's competency on the course objectives. Many of the courses include tables that match each test question to the content it covers to give the learners the opportunity to review any content they haven't mastered. And most of the courses include reflection boxes for learners to reflect and record and review their own reflections. So here are just a couple of the examples of the courses that we have. I'm actually going to dig into those a little bit for you here. So let me get rid of this. Bear with me as I switch around a little. Great, thank you. So any of our courses, the first thing that you're going to notice is nice and clear. It's made it obvious which course we're taking, moderate to vigorous physical activity. And this is the CDA subject area 2 course. So we're going to go ahead and start the course. Once we click the start button, you'll see that it opens up a table of contents where we're actually able to track a percentage of our completion rate. You'll see that the course has its objectives laid out nice and clear, along with audio. And anytime you see text on the screen, you'll also see audio to accompany it for ADA compliance reasons. Then as we move on a little bit further, it's going to give you a little preparatory steps to take. So it gives you the link to purchase the competency standards book. This is required for everybody, and you're going to purchase that book directly from the CDA, the CDA Council. And then you're going to have steps along the way, like things to do before you apply and what you should expect within 6 months of submitting your application and within 3 years of submitting your application. And then we remind you of the subject areas. Our courses are, for the most part, fully mobile. You can take them on a cell phone, tablet, iPad, iPod, anything that has a internet connection, really.
Yeah, Chris, I just wanted to jump in there because I think that's a really important distinction as well, is knowing that, you know, CypherWorx wanted to make this as affordable, as accessible to everyone, and it was very clear that not everybody has internet connection at home, reliable computer, and so we wanted to make these courses fully mobile, and so folks can access them, meet them where they're at. And then I also wanted to point out that what Chris is sharing here is this section is available in every single CDA course, meaning that at the beginning of each course, these directions, if you will, the process of what they need to go through. So it doesn't matter what course you start an individual on. This information is very well laid out in each course. Once you've seen it the first time, obviously you can move past this and go ahead and get right into the meat and potatoes of the course. And each of the courses in the CDA catalog is going to be 2 hours in length. But again, the system will remember where you left off. So it's easy enough to, you know, come in, take half an hour's worth of professional development. If there's an interruption, you can always come back and pick up where you left off.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. No, thank you, Steve. That's a great point. All of our courses are self-paced as well. We all have busy lives and different things that go on in and around those lives. So we've made it so you can go ahead and exit the course. It will record your progress and allow you to pick it back up when you're available to. And Steve did mention that these are in all of our courses, and it's just a nice reminder along the way. Certainly when you're taking, 60 plus courses to complete those 120 hours of training in your subject areas, you're certainly going to get very familiar with it, but it's a nice reminder, especially if it's been a little while since you've picked up the training. But we provide all the steps throughout. We provide should tell you about the process, give you information on scheduling and how you can earn your CDA. Another thing that we love to point out is the forced navigation in these courses. We don't just allow users to hit play and then go walk the dog or go play with the kids, whatever the case is. Excuse me. I thought I was going to sneeze. I'm so sorry. Um, our forced navigation makes it so you have to complete the activities on the screen, even if that's just listening to the audio or scrolling to the bottom of the page. But there is forced navigation in all of them. Then we're going to give you a little bit of info on the Childcare Council, as well as information on CypherWorx and the things that we do here. And then from there, we're going to move into the overview and objectives of this particular course. So the first few pages on each of your CDA courses are going to be very familiar, but then eventually you're going to get into, the overview and objectives of each individual course, and then you're going to get into the meat and the potatoes of the courses. Here is another course. This one's just 21st Century Skills and Play, which covers CDA subject area 2 and 8. Again, we're going to hit start on the course, and we're going to have our introduction. We can go ahead and hit play, and the audio will start. But it just goes through and again gives you the before you apply, within 6 months, and within 3 years. Going to run through the subject areas again. And it's the same first couple of slides, but then we get into our objectives and learning objectives and the overview, and then it's going to give us, a little bit more. So our courses are designed specifically to help maximize learning. We don't just want people to get credit for these courses. Using our system should ideally make all of your participants and users competent and knowledgeable in these areas. We really want them to learn the skills that align with each of these courses. So we've built in different types of learning checks, interactivity, and different things to assess the user and their skill level.
That's right, Chris. And the courses are designed to be challenging, created with expert subject matter experts. But as Chris says, we want to make sure that we're involving individuals in the courses. So that's why you'll see different modalities that we use, encouraging people to give feedback, completing forms, and information, really trying to provoke thought. So that we can make sure that they're walking away with that knowledge. And again, they can always come back to these courses. And I'll also say a quick note about the learning management system. If you're a program that has a number of staff that are going through the CDA process, the CypherWorx learning management system, as you probably know, is a great resource to be able to run reports, assign courses. And then as Chris talked about, we've got this a learning path that you can customize that goes through and simplifies the entire process as much as humanly possible to really serve up this information and also save time, right? So we want people to be able to come in here, access the courses right away, know exactly what they need to do, and not have to hunt around for information. So we're really pleased to be able to share this with you. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All good stuff. Thank you. We are IACIT accredited. We have accreditation through IACIT, and that's the standard for lifelong learning. We are accredited by the International Accreditors for Continuing Education and Training. Basically, this offers IACID allows us to offer continuing education units, and that ensures that providers of continuing education and training can provide high quality instruction. The standard is a universal model for the learning process and excellence. It defines a proven model for developing effective and valuable continuing education and training by measuring a provider's training program from procedure to process the result. So basically, this is something that we had to work very hard for to get this accreditation, but it essentially just means that we are from the procedure to process to result, we are providing high quality training and continued education. And this offers tremendous value to your students as they look to, or your users as they look to complete various levels of education or different certifications and requirements.
Yeah, this is, so if you were to go to the IACID website and again, reach out to either Chris or myself or anybody at CypherWorx, and we can share this information with you. But you'll see that these continuing education credits are accepted by many colleges and universities across the country, professional organizations. So not only is an individual earning their Child Development Associate certificate, and I should mention these courses are obviously appropriate for those renewals that need to happen every 4 years, I believe it is. And so in addition to, getting that credential, they also are earning, potentially college credits to continue to further their career.
Absolutely. We offer inclusive programs and content that support easy access for learners. We all learn and grow at a different rate. We process and learn things at a different rate. I am a very visual and hands-on learner. Some people learn by reading. Long story short, all of our programs and content are ADA compliant, as well as we offer the WCAG standards. So that's the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and this defines how to make web content more accessible for people with disabilities. And accessibility doesn't necessarily mean that you're, physically disabled or one way or another, but it just means that we've made it so all of our training comes with equity and allows just about anybody, whether it's including visual, auditory, or physical, speech, cognitive, or learning, or neurological disabilities. We have made our content so it's very accessible for just about everybody. Everybody deserves to learn, and we have made it so that is quite possible. So we also offer a robust reporting structure. So maybe many of your users want to get involved with the CDA program. So you have a whole staff of people who are taking the programs. You can actually use our reporting structure to learn how they're doing. You can create your own custom reports, but it's just a way for you to follow up on the training and make sure that people are actually getting the most out of it. You can report on all different types of activities within the system, whether it's, e-learning, or maybe you set up events. You can do different types of training, of course. So it can be, learning paths, events, in-person training, things like that. You can really report on a whole slew of different things, and you can filter down using reporting groups. So maybe you want to set up your organization based on job type or department. You'd be able to view those reports by based on those groups as well.
Yeah, so I think and thanks for sharing that, Chris, because I think it's important that, we've made this available. So if you're an individual, you want to come take your CDA, or if you're a program of 4 to 5 people, obviously this is appropriate, and we've made this extremely cost effective for organizations. But if you have, maybe hundreds of people in your staff or thousands, this reporting process is designed to be extremely easy. So it helps you really navigate between the different fields. And you've got a customer support team that's here to help you and make this the most efficient process as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a ton of other things that you can do with our learning management or learning content management system. We don't just, do training. You can create your own courses. You'll have the ability to manage your users as well. Maybe you're a very seasonal organization and people end up being laid off because you don't offer services throughout a certain time of the year. You can add or remove users with ease. We can also collect additional registration information. So maybe you want to collect additional information like current level of education. You'd be able to ask that of your users and they'd be able to fill that out. Of course, we have hundreds and hundreds of interactive courses. You can also customize your own catalog, including categories as well as different catalog names. You can create custom certificates to develop for your specific types of training. And then you can actually assign the courses directly to your users. We also have the ability to add additional training or certifications that happen outside of our system. And we also offer assessments with which measure competencies and use results to assign targeted training and professional development to your users. We certainly offer more than the things that I just mentioned. We could probably go on and spend an hour on some of each of these topics and the different things that we offer. But if you would like to learn more, I certainly would suggest reaching out to Steve or I, and we can meet with you and show you the ways that we can help provide your organization with continued education and make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, Chris, this is great, and just in terms of sharing with you all of the different types of things like being able to create your own custom courses. And I think that's one of the things that we find and we hear great feedback on from all of the partners that we work with is that, you may decide that you want to, if you're taking folks through a cohort and helping them through the CDA program, then you can also use the events feature to set up those live or virtual training events and track all of that as part of your process. So while there's this, all of the content is there, the framework is there. It's helpful to note that you're not alone, right? So you have the CypherWorx team that can help guide you and share ideas of what other organizations have done to make this process as easy and pleasurable, if you will, to be able to take people through that process in an efficient and effective way. So the team's done a great job of also providing the support hub information on each one of these tools. So they've done a great job of documenting all of this right within the learning management system. But again, it comes out to the content, but not just the content, but also how you deliver it and the experience that the learners have. So Chris, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I always encourage people is to not reinvent the wheel. We've gone ahead and actually created these trainings with subject matter experts, and we've put the time to develop a learning management system that works for many different client types and organization types. Let us help you. There is no issue in admitting that we all need some help with continued education and growing as professionals. And we've already done the legwork for you. And the nice thing, and one of the best things, is it's all affordable too. Some the cost for content from our competitors can range from anywhere for $199 per person for up to $1,200 for in-person training or any type of online training. We don't we're not out to make $1 million. Obviously most of the reason that we are in this particular business is we all love helping people, and that's what we've made a career doing, is helping people. And we want to offer you, your organization, annual licenses that are extremely affordable. They're a fraction of the price that you'll pay elsewhere. It is all dependent typically on the numbers that you have. So if you would like to learn more, we would love to meet with you. But the good thing is your educators are not going to need payment plans or to pay an exorbitant amount of fees. Our main goal is getting this training, this amazing training, out into the hands, because we want, the children of the world to be well taken care of, and your educators don't need to spend a fortune to do that. So we have taken it and made it extremely affordable for you.
Yeah, and just to put a finer point on this is if you're an individual that's coming to complete all of the CDA training, everything that you've seen here, the cost for an individual is just $199.99. Again, this is, we priced it that way purposefully to make this as accessible as possible. And so that's why, sometimes people will scratch their head. Well, how can you afford to offer this at such a low rate competitively? We do a very high volume of these CDA training processes. And for larger organizations, your cost per user actually goes down significantly. So we have some organizations that are doing many hundreds, if not thousands, of CDAs offering that to the community. So really, it's each individual engagement. We talk about what your needs are, what your program looks like. Many programs have both early childhood education and after school. So like I say, every program is different, but what you'll find is that the pricing is extremely competitive, because as Chris says, we like to call a social entrepreneurial organization. And we're really about the mission of getting this knowledge in the hands of as many folks as we possibly can. And particularly, I think it's helpful, noting that, the social emotional learning weaved in there and so forth. And there's many courses that CypherWorx has available for things like SEL and trauma-informed care and so forth. So we're really here to help you design the best possible training experience for your staff. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is really all I have for you. I certainly want to thank you for giving us time. We certainly want to make the most out of any of the resources that you already have. So if there's a way that we can help you develop or build on a program that you're already offering, we would love to do that as well.
Yes, so please do reach out to us. I just have my contact information there on the screen, but if you'd like any of the materials, if you would like the course catalog, if you'd like a sample course, if you'd like a copy of this PowerPoint presentation, please let us know. And then we do encourage you to go back to the CypherWorx.com webinar series for childcare and select any of the additional webinars. And you can also go back and listen to any of the recorded sessions in the past. So I don't see there's any questions here on the screen, but again, we look forward to hearing from you. So please do reach out to us, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks, folks. Have a great day.